Good evening, everybody. It's Charlie, and welcome back to the Chatting Leeds YouTube channel for your first video of the match day content weekend. Marsch did his press conference earlier on today, his first one for a while. It feels like forever ago, does that Brentford game. But Marsch did the press conference, so I'm just going to dissect that a little bit, just talk about a few things that he discussed, and then hopefully try to predict the starting 11 that he's going to go with against Aston Villa at Ellen Road on Sunday afternoon. But before we get into that, as always, please smash that like button, please subscribe. We're so close to hitting 2k now. I know that there's a lot of people who are watching that haven't subscribed. If you haven't subscribed, then what are you doing? Hit that subscribe button so that you can see all my upcoming content. So yeah, and obviously hit all of your comments in the comment section down below. So yeah, let's get into it then. Marsch did his press conference earlier on today. There's a few things that I just want to discuss. So he was asked basically about how he's liking life at Leeds at the minute, and he basically said, I'm not quoting him word for word here, but in a nutshell, he basically said that if he got offered any other job in world football at the minute, he would turn it down, as he has never been happier at a club as what he is at Leeds United, which is good to hear, really, because, you know, as an American coming over to the UK, he did get a little bit of stick when he first come over. There was people comparing him to Ted Lasso and such, which I just thought was absolutely nonsense. Obviously, the fact that we've signed Aronson and Adams, both American players. Yeah, I know, like, some of the fans kind of took the mick a little bit, you know, saying that we're Leeds United States and stuff like that, which I understand that's a laugh. But when you've got people on TalkSport, which I know isn't, you know, the greatest place for football knowledge, just talking nonsense about him and the players we've brought in, you know, it's a lot to take, and he's obviously seen all that, because we all have, and the fact that he is still happy here, you know, you can kind of tell that he's trying to start a bit of a project at Leeds now, and hopefully, you know, if we finish fairly comfortably this season, which I do think we will, next season, then we can kick on, we can bring even better players in. Some of the older players may naturally be phased out then, and, you know, he can start working properly with a full squad of his own players. He did speak on Rodrigo as well, because obviously he was injured. He got that shoulder injury against Everton. Apparently he said he is 100% fit, and he's been training well, and he's definitely in contention for the weekend, which is good. Pat Bamford is fit as well. Obviously, he did mention that he's had to manage him quite closely this season, which is why he's maybe not played as much. But again, in contention. Firpo's back fit. I think the only injuries are Forshaw, Dallas, and Archie Gray. So obviously Forshaw and Archie Gray we're not too fussed about, really, to be honest. Stuart Dallas, we know, will be out until at least the new year. So pretty much everyone else is fit, which is great to hear, and it's good that Jesse Marsch has actually got some options, and he did say that Gnonto will be in the squad as well. I think he had to kind of take back his comment that he said during the transfer window, where he basically said that he didn't feel he was ready for the Premier League. But let's be honest, the guy's 18 years old and he's starting games for Italy's senior team, so he's definitely ready. Maybe not week in, week out starting games, but he's definitely ready to be in and amongst the squad. So that's a few talking points from the press conference out the way. So who do I think will be starting then? So obviously in goal, we all know it's Illan Meslier, let's not mess around. Back four now, this is something that has caused a bit of a debate. I did discuss it briefly on an upload that I did the other day, where I spoke about who would play at right back out of Christensen and Ayling. Now, there's two ways you can look at this, really. You can look at it, I'm mainly talking about the left side, really, here, in the sense of, obviously, he's been playing Pascal Struijk, who's done a really good job there. He got called up to the Holland squad. Now, from an attacking point of view, in terms of getting balls into the box, someone that's composed in the attacking area, I would probably throw Firpo back in and put Pascal Struijk at left centre-back with Robin Koch. But I think from a defensive standpoint, Because let's be honest, Aston Villa like to play wide against Leeds. I think they try and take advantage of us in that way, as Steven Gerrard's aware that Leeds like to play narrowly. From a defensive point of view, I would probably stick Strauch at left back still and put Liam Cooper in at left centre back, because I definitely do not want to see Diego Llorente. I'd rather play centre back with Robin Koch than see Diego Llorente there, if I'm being totally honest with you. But it really would not surprise me if he throws Llorente in. But I do think he needs to rejig that back four in that way. What I think will happen though, I think he's going to stick with Pascal Strauch, if I'm honest. I think he's going to stick with Strauch from a defensive point of view and throw Liam Cooper back in to partner Robin Koch. And then Christensen, I do think, will stay as right back, and Ayling will be on the bench, I think. Moving into the double pivot, I think we all know who the double pivot is going to be. Marc Roca and Tyler Adams complemented each other really well so far this season. I'm not going to judge them on the Brentford game because everybody was poor that day, but apart from that, I do think they've had really good starts to the season. Marc Roca saw a start, apparently he's fifth in the table of most progressive passes up the pitch. And I think the only players in front of him are the likes of KDB, Cancelo, Bernardo Silva and such. So, you know, when he's in that company in the top five, it just shows you how much of a good signing he's been. Tyler Adams for the tackles, the determination, the fact that he's just all over the pitch, getting stuck in. He's much better on the ball than I anticipated as well, which I think helps him complement Marc Roca fantastically. And then we move into the three behind the striker. Now, again, has caused a bit of a debate in the Leeds United sphere recently, as now Rodrigo is fit and Bamford is fit. Do you put Rodrigo in the 10 and play Bamford up front and put Aronson on the right? Do you stick with Cine on the right, Harrison on the left, Aronson in the 10 and then Rodrigo or Bamford up front? What I think will happen, based on the fact that Bamford is probably slightly more fit than Rodrigo, I could be wrong there, but I'd say they're either the same or Bamford could be more. What I would do in this game, personally, is stick with Cine. Well, actually, speaking of Cine, I'm not sure if he touched upon it. I've not seen much as I was at work earlier on. If Cine is not 100% based on how long he's been back in the UK from international duty, you could be seeing a scenario where it's actually Aronson on the right, Rodrigo in the 10, Harrison on the left and Bamford up front. But if Cine is fit and ready to go, I think he'll go with Cine out wide on the right, Harrison on the left, Aronson in the 10, and I think he will start Patrick Bamford in this game. But who knows? I'm not Jesse Marsch. That's just what I think will happen. It could be totally different. You could see Diego Llorente start, Rodrigo could be up front, Gellert could be up front. Who knows? But that's just what I think, guys, so we'll bring the video to a close. Now, if you really enjoyed it, please smash that like button. Please subscribe if you're new to the channel as well. Hit all of your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. And I will be back tomorrow night at the same time of 7:30 for my match preview ahead of the Aston Villa game. So make sure that you tune in for that. And I'll see you in a bit. Cheers.